Welcome to Newsroom. Chella Smith here, your Middle East U.S. entertainment news here on YouTube. I air on Fridays and I hold the Iraqi Dinar, so I bring you the latest on reforms and economics based on reports put out by the Middle East news media outlets. I do this weekly review and it's based off my interests. Thank you everyone who joins me each week. I appreciate all your continued support through your likes, comments, and shares. Those of you who are joining me for the first time, welcome to Newsroom. If you hold the Iraqi Dinar, maybe this channel will be of interest for you. I appreciate all the positive feedback as this channel is growing. Thank you everyone for being here. If my studio is a little loud today, it's because I have an extra heater going. It's extremely cold outside and it's cold in here. Let's get right into our news headlines. Economics Alvarez News reports Oil Minister Abdul Jabbar announced last Saturday the start of work of Iraq's clean energy forum was on Sunday. Abdul Jabbar said in a statement, the forum comes with Iraq's direction to support all initiatives and efforts to gradually shift from traditional energy to clean and renewable energy. He adds that the project will carry out its corporations between national companies and international companies specializing in this field. He points out that the forum is an important step that aims to see and learn about the latest experiences and practical applications in the field. Alvarez News reports January 22nd, the exchange rate of the U.S. dollar fell against the Iraqi dinar on Saturday on the main stock exchange in capital Baghdad. The central Haifa and Al Harthia stock exchange in Baghdad recorded Saturday morning 148,000 Iraqi dinars for 100 U.S. dollars. Last Thursday, prices were recorded at 148,100 Iraqi dinars compared to 100 U.S. dollars. Buying and selling prices has stabilized in banking shops in local markets in Baghdad, where the selling prices amounted to 148,500 Iraqi dinars per 100 U.S. dollar, while the purchase prices amounted to 147,500 Iraqi dinars per 100 U.S. dollar. Shafak News reports an informed source in the satirist bloc confirmed on Saturday the strategic alliance with the Sunnis and Kurdish partners are able to win 3 presidencies and pass them comfortably, noting that the announcement of the formation of the new government will be soon if the Kurds agree on the candidate for presidency. The source told Shafak News Agency the satirist bloc and its partners opposes the required number of votes needed to form the government, and the political movement for its formation is proceeding in full swing. And as soon as the Kurdish forces agree on the candidate for the presidency, we will be very close to announcing the nominations of the candidate to head the government and its formation. He explains that the federal court will issue a logical decision commensurate with the data presented to it, and therefore its decisions will be decisive, as all of this will not affect our strategic alliance with partners who support the program of a national majority government. The court has postponed the decision sessions of the legitimacy of the elections of the presidency of the House of Representatives to the 25th of this month, which was Tuesday. And what we've all been waiting for, Shafak News, the leader of the satirist movement, Muqtada al-Sadrs, commented on Tuesday on the decision of the federal Supreme Court in Iraq, which judges the legality of the election session for the presidency of Iraqi parliament. Al-Sadrs says in a tweet seen by Shafak News Agency and many others, once again, the Iraqi judiciary proves its integrity and independence and does not succumb to political pressure. Thank God and thank you to the Iraqi judiciary. With these attitudes, countries are built. He added, we are proceeding with the formation of a national majority government, and our doors is still open to those we still have good faith in. Everyone will remain our brothers, even if they take opposition or boycott, as long as they seek reform. And the prestige of Iraq is working, both for subordinations, all for violence, and all for breaking the law. The Federal Supreme Court of Iraq earlier today, Tuesday, resolved the controversy and issues a ruling on the legalities of the first session of Iraqi parliament, and the federal court decides to reject the appeals in the first session of parliament submitted by Representative Bassem Kazem, considering the session as legitimate and choosing the presidency of parliament as legitimate. It is also decided to charge the cost of the case to Representative Bassem Kazem. The court said MP Khaled Al-Dajari presiding over the first parliament session does not contradict the provisions of the Constitution. The federal court canceled the state decision to suspend the work of the elected predecessor of parliament. Baghdad Ops List reports the leader of the Satirist movement, Muqtada al-Sadrs, and the head of the Kyrgyzstan Democratic Party, Mauzer Barzani, discussed Tuesday, January 25th, political developments and national unification. In a statement received by al-Marsalis, al-Sadr's office said that al-Sadrs has received a phone call from Mauzer Barzani. He added that during the call, the most important issue related to political development in Iraq and the need to unify the national rank at the current stage were discussed to serve the interest of Iraq and its people. Shafak News reports the Iraqi oil ministry revealed Tuesday that it had negotiations with an American company to invest in the Krach gas fields in the west of the country. The director of oil contracts and license in the ministry, Ali Marach, told Shafak News agency, the ministry is negotiating with the American companies Halliburton to develop and invest the Krach gas fields in Anbar governance, noting that the field productions will be between 400 to 500 million cubic feet per day. Marach added, many foreign companies applied to invest the fields, but the ministry did not contract them to reach an agreement, noting that the security situation has major role in the reluctance of companies, but there is an encouragement and reassurance from the governance operating leadership, the governor, and the political authorities to maintain protection and security for companies operating in the province. Shafak News reports the Prime Minister, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Mustafa al-Kazemi, vowed on Wednesday again that ISIS element would chase them inside and outside the country and defeat them at the hands of the Iraqi security forces. This came in a speech he delivered during his visit to the border area with Syria on Wednesday. Al-Kazemi explains during the speech, our visit today comes to directly supervise the procedures and precautions in place by our heroes in the security and military forces, and our presence in the place confirms the strong presence of the state and the readiness of our armed forces to confront any attempt aimed at tampering with the security and stability of our country. Shafak News reports the Prime Minister's advisor, Mauzer Mohammed Saleh, considered Wednesday that the sovereignty funds are not difficult, and he also said that they were supposed to work 18 years ago. This is after the fall of the regime of former President Saddam Hussein. Saleh said in an interview with Shafak News agency that the sovereignty funds that countries take are not difficult to establish, and they are part of a financial surplus that comes to protect the national economy in times of crisis and when prices drop, and they are called stability funds, describing such as an approach as positive, logical, and correct, and the budget was supposed to have taken it 18 years ago. He added, there is a tendency at the present time by the Iraqi government to establish a stability or sovereignty funds to protect the public's budget and the Iraqi economy. Shafak News reports al-Sadrs on Wednesday went to the Iraqi capital, Baghdad, to discuss with political forces, especially the leader of the coordination framework, on the alliance that would lead to forming the next government. Al-Sadrs, whose list tops the election, has said in a televised statement on Tuesday that he offered the coordination framework forces to enter into a majority government on the conditions that the leader of the State of Law coalition, Nouri al-Maliki, did not participate, but they refused. Al-Sadrs blames al-Maliki, who headed the government for 2 consecutive terms from 2006 to 2014, for a rampant corruption and act of violence in the country, in addition to ISIS invasion of the third of Iraq in the summer of 2014. So this new government should be very interesting to watch unfold, especially pushing the Saddam Hussein regime. Alvarez News reports the presidency of the House of Representatives held yesterday a meeting to discuss the provisions and procedures related to the nominations of the post of President of the Republic. According to a statement by the Council Media Department, it was decided during the meeting 1. Announcing the name of the candidates for the post of President of the Republic who meets the legal conditions on next Monday, January 31st, after completing the legal procedures based on Law Number 8 of 2012 on the provisions for candidacy for the post of President of the Republic. 2. Setting Monday, February 7th as the date of the House of Representatives session to elect the President of the Republic. Last but not least, let's take a look at last week's comments and questions in Newsroom. King Martin says, will you give ARB emergency broadcast when it is done? My answer is yes, I will give an emergency update as soon as I see the CBI post and an exciting rate. Next, Carlos comments, I hate to say it, but Iraq will follow suit with other countries and keep their currency suppressed for years to come. Countries make billions in doing so. I have to agree with you, praying for the Iraqi people and that the new leaders step up and continue forming a majority government and history repeats itself with an honest revaluation. Thank you for those comments and questions. That's all for this week's Newsroom Weekly Review, your Middle East U.S. entertainment news on reforms and economics. I try to bring you all the latest Dinar news without having to keep up with all the different outlets. I'm Chella Smith, Newsroom here on YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you like my content, give me a thumbs up. I will see you guys next Friday for your next international headlines. Shout out to Currency 365 for his continued support. If you want to learn about stocks and cryptos, you can join him and his crew for his most recent updates. You can find him on YouTube or Patreon. The month of February and Valentine's is approaching fast. I would like to hold a viewers appreciation event here on YouTube. Here's how it works. 1, you have to be a subscriber, and 2, for each time you comment each Friday in February in the comment section below, your name will be entered into a chance to win a gift from Newsroom. On the last filming Friday in February, I will draw 2 names at the end of my show. 2 winners will be selected. I will have those winners contact me by email only, and I will see that you receive your viewers appreciation gift from Newsroom. Well, that's it for this week's Newsroom Weekly Review. Thank you for joining me. Have a fantastic weekend. Take care. Make sure you join us Fridays, 4 p.m. with Newsroom Updates with Chella Smith, Entertainment News.